Hey everyone, welcome back to another Friday Foursome. Unfortunately, I was not able to get to the last one due to work, but while I have now, and I have about 20 minutes, I'm going to get through this one, which is your top 4 console modifications or add-ons excluding controllers. So first up is for probably one of my least favorite systems, but I just admire the craftsmanship. That is for a Nintendo 64 region free piece. Now, the one in the system looks similar to this, except it has 4 tabs. Now, all you have to do is get some pliers and yank those out, but it's a bit of a pain. If you watch tutorial videos on it, you really got to work at it. In the grand scheme of things, it's actually a very simple modification. It's just pulling 4 tabs, and you get access to a much bigger library. But what this allows you to do is save the original piece, which is really nice if you don't want to just damage anything. They screw in with the exact same screws, and it looks very similar. So yeah, my original piece just sits in the box. This screws in, allows any cart, US or Japanese, to fit in. He had a warning about PAL games because he wasn't sure how they run, but I think size-wise it's fine. And he made this with a 3D printer, which was really neat. And so yeah, I just appreciate the elegance of it. It's just so simple, but allows you to keep everything that's original as original. And it's just a really nice workaround. It was about $10 with a few bucks shipping. So like I said, despite the N64 not being my favorite, I have to appreciate the man's solution. Next up, it's a bit of a godsend. That's the Pseudo Saturn cart. This is a software modification to the Pro Action Replay cart, which I guess would make it a bit of an add-on maybe. But what this does is allows a game to load through the Saturn security system or setting, which has been such a problem for so long. What makes this so nice is that I bought one of the last mod chips that was manufactured by Racket Boy. Then I had to find someone to install it, which took another 6+ months. Then he had to install it, and because I had attempted it previously, since I couldn't find anyone, I almost ruined the chip, so he had to fix it first. The whole thing took 7 or 8 months. Got kind of pricey, as you have to ship the system and then pay for the time. The first thing I played was Dragon Force 2 Fans Translation, so it was worth it. But yeah, I couldn't find any more chips after that. That guy, right after he did that for me, stopped doing mod work. And you'll find that if you try to get someone to do mod work for you, it can be very difficult. There are people who will do it, but they have kind of poor reputations, and other people, they quickly get overloaded the second they make an offer or open themselves up to new work. People pour in with orders and they shut it down. And yeah, because it can take so long and it's such a pain for them to ship back and forth, a lot of people just stop after a while. That's what makes this so nice. You just pop it in and go. Now, I bought this one off a guy on Etsy. You can do it yourself. However, you need a modded Saturn to load a burned disk with the software on to flash the Pro Action Replay cart. And the thing is, while I have a modded Saturn, I have just enough Pro Action Replay carts for my Saturn, so I didn't want to use one of those. And if I would have bought a new one, I would have waited for it to come in either through PlayAsia or Japan, and those are $25, $35 now plus shipping. So I think in the end it worked out to be about $20 for his time to do it. I'm perfectly fine with that. Like I said, I had my setup how I wanted it. He had them ready to go. Popped it in. The first thing I played on that was Police Knots. I had a copy of that for a while. And I was really waiting to play it in another room where I could be more comfortable. And here it gets a little too hot or cold because there's no central unit. You might actually hear the fan going. I have an oscillating fan right there. If you do, sorry about that. But yeah, I've been wanting to sit down and just play Police Knots in a really nice setting, and this allowed me to do it. The only thing is, it will hang up every now and then. You'll get an error. But for all but one, you just have to hit the A button and it goes through the boot sequence again. Not the whole Saturn splash screen, but just a few lines of text, and then it'll go through. At most, you'll have to do that 2 times. It takes about 3 seconds each time. The only errors I really had were for a newer Saturn I had bought used because the laser had gotten a little dirty. But once I've cleaned that, I haven't had it a hard reset at all. It's just been hit A since. Yeah, I really thought this was going to usher in a new wave of fan translations because now people can easily play them on their actual hardware. Has not, but I am really looking forward to the ISO loader that's in the works. I know there are some now, but I want to use the one that hooks into the VCD card slot. I thought that looked really neat. But next up is a modder that was recommended by Bubbalun. Helped me out with this. He recapped my Duo R. He fixed the power port here because it was, I don't know, I had to keep wiggling it, and he was able to find a connection and fix it. Worked like a charm. But the main mod I want to talk about is this switch right here. This is for the cart slot. Now, the CD drives are region free on any Duo, but the cart slot is not, unfortunately. So I was having to keep my US TurboGrafx 16 out, which is fine, you know. But if you can ever take the ever get the opportunity to save some shelf space, I mean, I only had to buy one SCART cable. It only takes up one outlet on a power strip. There are just so many advantages, and it's just a nice little switch. Forward is for import, middle and back is for US. That is Dragon Sabre. I really like the art on this card. I tried to record gameplay footage of it, but I keep dying by the first boss, and I find that too embarrassing. But for the world of possibilities this opens up, really love it. I forgot his name. I should have looked it up. I think it was Olsen. I think that was his name. I think if you type in Olsen, Instagram, and Dreamcast VGA, he shows a picture of a mod he did for me. He didn't really like doing the mod because he thought it was a pain, but he knew because of my space limitations, I couldn't really use a VGA box. But if I find his name, I'll put it in the description. And last is my modded PS1. Aside from the fact I really just like the form factor of this, it's so tiny. It fits anywhere I want to put it. Look, the output's great. I watched My Life on Gaming's piece on VGA, or not VGA, RGB SCART for the PlayStation family, particular PlayStation 1. And I don't remember if there was supposed to be much of a graphical difference. I haven't noticed any. I have it hooked up with SCART and looks great. Like I said, fantastic form factor, but what I really love, again, is fan translations. I don't think I own any copied PS1 games. All of them are imports that I bought so I could rip and patch, and just a ton of good ones. Most recent is one I have a gameplay video up of. It is a strategy role-playing game from the creator of Fire Emblem after he left Nintendo, Tear Ring Saga. I think that's his name. That's a lot of fun. Really enjoying it. Trying to look over. I normally have a little stack of fan translations I'm playing, but this is just everything about it. You get the original PS1 library. Now I can play import PS1s, fan translations. Goes anywhere I need it to be. Let me take the. It's so small. The Pocket Station takes up. Look at that. And the best thing is if you find these, I got off a forum for $50. When people mod these and sell them, they let them go dirt cheap. One of the best values you can get, especially with how many fan translations there are for the PlayStation. There are quite a few. It's probably second to the Super Nintendo. And because of that, there's just a huge library, especially of role-playing games that opens up to you, strategy role-playing games. So, yeah, one of the best pieces you can get, one of my favorite items I own, and those are my top 4 console modifications. Thanks again, Doublebug, and I will talk to everyone later.